So today we're going to be talking a bit about perspective. So the first thing you want to do is draw a line across your page. This is going to be your horizon line or your eye level line. Then you're going to begin with drawing a square, and that'll be the base for our cube. Now you can see a tiny dot on my page that I'm creating. That is called your vanishing point. So we're going to draw lines from each corner of the square to connect to our vanishing point. And this will help us create 1-point perspective for our cube. Alright, so after we've connected those, then we're going to draw parallel lines, just connecting the lines that we drew to our vanishing point. And these will be the edges of our cube. So as you can kind of see, that has a 3D cube shape. So I'm just going to erase the lines that I don't need and kind of darken those edges so we can see our 3D cube in perspective. There you have it. That's a 1-point perspective cube. So next we're going to draw a 2-point perspective cube. So here you have 2 vanishing points. So you can see those 2 points on my page. I'm drawing my parallel line, starting off with that. Just one, no square this time. So 1 parallel line, and then we're connecting the top and bottom points to both vanishing points. Okay, so now that we've connected both points to the vanishing points, we're going to draw another 2 parallel lines that are connecting our lines that are leading to our vanishing points. Then we're going to make a connecting line from the top and bottom of those 2 blue parallel lines we've just created. And I'm making them in blue so that you can see the edges of our cube. So now I'm going to go ahead and outline the actual lines that we'll keep for the cube in blue so you can kind of see that shape. And then you can feel free to erase the extra lines that we used in order to find our cube in perspective. So here you can kind of see more clearly our blue cube. And then in red, I'm going to go ahead and draw the inside lines. So you're just going to connect that top and bottom point there, and then that edge there. So the red lines kind of show the inside of that cube, so you kind of get an idea of the lines that we don't see, but that help create that shape. So now I'm going to try doing a 2-point perspective box from above my eye line or my horizon line. So we're going to draw 2 more vanishing points. This is going to be the view if we were to be looking up at the cube. I'm going to start off with that same parallel line to begin with. Again, I'm outlining that in blue because that'll be part of our main structure of our cube. And then as before, I'm going to connect the top and bottom edges of that vertical line to the vanishing points. Now that I've done that, I'm going to connect those vanishing point lines again with a vertical line. It can be anywhere. That kind of changes the length of your cube, so it could be really short or really long, more like a rectangle. And again, I'm going to connect the top and bottom of those 2 vertical lines I just created to bring about the shape of our cube. Now I'm going to outline in blue the edges of our 3D cube so we can see what that looks like. And that is what a cube would look like if we were looking up at it. Again, this is above our eye line because our horizon line is acting as our eye line right now. And I'm going in red again just to show you those inside edges. So now I'm going to talk to you a bit about ellipses. So ellipses are really any rounded edges, like when you see a cylinder, either at eye line, above eye line, or below eye line. So I'm just going to start by drawing some ovals, elongated ovals. That's essentially what our ellipse is. So as we get farther above the eye line, we see more and more of the top of our ellipse. So if you were to take a soup can, for instance, and hold it above eye line, you'd see more and more of the bottom. So, and then when it's perfectly above your eye line, you see the full circle. Same thing with below eye line. The farther you get below eye line, you see more of that top of your soup can. Okay, so now that I kind of have an idea of how much more I see of each ellipse, the farther I hold it above or below eye line, I'm just going to go ahead and draw myself a little can. So to start off with our ellipse, I always like to start with kind of a plus sign, and that just helps make sure that my curves in all four quadrants are equal. It kind of helps with creating the shape of our ellipse so that it's more even on all sides. Then for my can, I'm going to draw my two vertical lines, and then again an ellipse on the bottom for the bottom edge of our cylinder. And again, I'm drawing that kind of plus sign shape to help me find the shape of my ellipse. You want to keep this really light and sketchy. This is a good practice of sketching just to kind of really find that shape. It's nice and loose handwork. Alright, so now that I have kind of found the shape of my can, I'm going to erase that inside line because now I'm going to add some value. So here I'm kind of showing you some hatch marks. That's if I hold my pencil in my hands the normal way, as we have been, and some cross hatching like we practiced before. Here I'm going to show you if you hold the pencil like this inside the palm of your hand and lay it on the edge, you can kind of get a different look. So there you can kind of get more of a smooth gradient, and you don't see as many lines as you do with hatching. So that's just another technique to practice for shading. So I'm going to start off with my light source. So if I say the sun is hitting my can here, that's going to be my brightest area, so it's going to be lighter on my value scale. And it's going to create a shadow coming out of the right side because our light source is coming from the left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that edge to make a really nice dark shadow. And here I'm using that technique I just showed you of holding the pencil on the inside of my palm. So you see it kind of has that really nice smooth gradient as opposed to more hatchy lines. And this is really just a style thing, so it's up to you which you decide to use. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my value, and then at the end you'll kind of see what my can will look like in full value if I had a light source coming from the left side. I'm just adding my finishing touches on my value, darkening up some of my edges that I might have lost, getting a little darker on the back end of my can, adding some highlights, and that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.